Hello everybody, Sean the TTRPG Traveler here with another DiceCloud video. My first DiceCloud video was about how to build a Gestalt character using the DiceCloud V2 builder, but today we're going to go back to basics. Most people I think are going to be using a basic 5e character, so we're going to use the builder to build that, just like if you were going to be using D&D Beyond. I do plan on making two more videos after this one showing building the same character that we're going to build today, but using different libraries, and I'll talk about that a little bit. But this is going to be our standard one. To help with that, if you're brand new, I started a brand new account. This is so that you can kind of follow along and have the same experience as if you just started and it doesn't have all of my libraries that I've subscribed to. So first thing we need to talk about is libraries. Okay. The first thing you should do when building a new character is come over to library, and the only one you will have is the DiceCloud 5th edition SRD. Browse community libraries, and then you're going to have libraries of Vexus. This is the main one you should subscribe to. The reason the 5th edition SRD one has more subscribers is because everybody is automatically subscribed to that one, but it's not the one that we recommend. So come down here, you should subscribe to this one, Libraries of Vexus, which we just say LOV. So if you hear me say LOV, that means Libraries of Vexus, and unsubscribe from this one. Okay, so the only one you should have, or the only one you need to have subscribed to is Libraries of Vexus. In case you are using Homebrew, you can use this. There's, as you can see, lots of libraries for adding more content. And if you'd like to, you can scroll down, and here's my library, TTRPG Travelers Homebrew Library, where I put all of my own content. So I'm adding a lot of stuff. If you want that material, I'm constantly updating it. If you ever see any issues with it, you can contact me in the Discord and I'll try to get something up and running. So yep, you can do that. But we're building a new character for new people into V2. So this is the main thing I want you to start with. Okay, then we're going to go back to our characters. Here's our character list, the big red button. I always tell people if you're not sure where to go next, go to the big red button. Look for the big red button. So plus, here's our new character. We're going to call this new character builder. Okay. Alignment, whatever you'd like. Gender, whatever you'd like. Level, stay at 1. We're going to go to next. And then I always recommend whenever you do a new character, you always click off all user libraries and then only select the ones that you're going to use for that character. In this case, we're going to be using Libraries of Vexus. Okay. Create. Okay. Now, if you're coming from V1, there's a couple of new tabs up here. The Build tab, which is what we're in because it's the builder, and then the Actions tab. You can now roll dice in V2, so all of your actions are in the Actions tab. If you're new to V2 and you never use V1, all of this is new. What I'm going to recommend here is we're going to come up here to this and click it so we have the full screen and we can see the full screen. Okay, so here we are in the builder, John Evans. This gives you some information that you need to know. Okay. Proceed to sources. Okay. I know it's not the big red button, but it's a big green button. Now, if you do not want to use this, you don't have to, but that's covered in later videos. This one we're using the builder, so we're going to go through everything. So proceed to sources. Sources determine which source book material should be displayed from when selecting character options. Okay. So we click on it and we look at our sources. Okay. What you can do, you can kind of do it without it and see what comes up. But if you want to make sure you have pretty much all the options, you just click on the bundles. The bundles will give you the most. The ones you get in that starts with in LOV is your core source books, PHP, DMG, Monster Manual, and then your core supplements. But if you want to add things from the others, just click on the bundles. Those will give you the most. Instead of having to click through all of these little things, click on the bundles. Okay. So we're fine there. So we're going to insert it. Okay. Now, you don't need this anymore. You can come back to it if you want to, but we don't really need this, so we can click on the X. It hasn't disappeared. We didn't delete it. It's not gone forever. If you come up here at the top of the slots, you'll see this red one now. If you click on that, one hidden property sources. So you can click on it and come back to the sources tab. Okay. All right. Proceed to house rules. Okay. House rules, they call extensions. So these are anything that your server or your game might use that are kind of like homebrew rules, right? House rules. So we click on those. I'll just go over them real quick. You can see them all here. You can pause at any time if you want to like really look at them. But these are kind of your basic house rules that people will have. Okay. I'm not going to be using any of these because we're just doing a basic standard sheet. So I'm going to cancel and then click to hide it. Again, we didn't delete it. It's up here in our hidden properties. Okay. So we come down, proceed to character creation. Okay. At this point, John has disappeared, but you can always resummon John if you want to. Okay. You can also permanently hide the card if you want to. We're going to leave it there. Now, there's two ways to build the character. You can click on the boxes and it'll take you to each section, or you can come down here and build it from this tree here. Okay. We're going to go ahead and use these, but we'll make reference down here. Okay. So starting class, we all like to start with our class, right? The slots, it'll tell us to start with our base ability scores. You can do that. You can start anywhere you want. Actually, because we want to kind of go in this order, let's go in this order. So base ability scores. Click on it. Okay, how are you going to put in your ability scores? Do you have a manual, point by, roll for stats, standard array? A lot of people use standard array. I use that for my playtesting. So we're going to go ahead and click on that, insert it. It disappears, and then we have our assign stats. So pick a stat to assign to 15. I don't know what my character is yet. So let's say, usually you already know where your character is, right? This is why I say I always like to start with starting class. So do we need to do this right now? Nope, we can come up to starting class. I haven't even decided what starting class I want to do. Let us start with a standard fighter. Fighters are easy, right? Click on the fighter, insert, okay, and then we have all of our stuff here. Okay, so because I have a fighter, I want my strength to be a 15, 14, I want con, 13 dex, 12 to wisdom, 10 to charisma, 8 to intelligence. Okay, next our race. So when we click on my race, I want to be, let's pick something that's a little bit lower down. And let's say I want to be a minotaur. So instead of scrolling down all the way, we can come up to the search bar and just click Minnow, click enter, and Minotaur. We have the legacy version and we also have the NPM version. So go ahead. Let's say I'm going to click that one. insert it. Okay, right. Ability scores. Okay, this is continuing on with our race, right? I want a +2 to strength. Actually, no, I want a +1 to strength and a +2 to con. Right? Insert Minotaur language. Next is Minotaur languages. Common, everybody gets common. And then we can pick one more. So I'm going to say giant. Sure. Okay. Background. Let's do our background next. This is going to be easy. We're going to go with our standard soldier. Right, so again, we can pick from our soldier or our Baldur's Gate soldier. We're just going to pick the standard soldier, insert it. Okay. Soldier, gaming set proficiency. This is great because instead of having to try to figure out what kind of games are available, it gives you a list of games you can choose from. Let's say we like playing dice because we play TTRPGs. Okay. And then next we have we're down to our class. So skill proficiencies for fighter. Skill proficiencies. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pick insights and perception. Okay. Starting funds or starting equipment. If you have something specific, you can start with the gold. I generally tend to start with equipment and then just sell what I don't need. Okay. So here's our equipment. Okay. So let's go ahead. Weapon choice 1A. Okay. What do we want for our weapon choice 1A? Okay, so we have our weapon choice 1A, and me. I've always been kind of a fan of the halberd, even though I don't like 5e's halberd because halberd is actually a piercing weapon that has a slashing capability. I believe that a lot of weapon types should have 2 types, but that's neither here nor there. So we're going to put our halberd in. Weapon choice 1B. With this one, we're going to go something smaller and something we can go with range. So let's do a hand crossbow. Insert. Right. And then weapon choice 2. Couple hand axes. Our armor choice. We're going to go with chainmail. And then our pack choice, we're going to go with an explorer's pack. Right. So that's all of our packs. Now we can go on to our fighting style. I'm going to go ahead and pick great weapon fighting. All right. So there we are. We have everything in. Multi-class is if you're going to multi-class, but again, we're building a basic character. This is our basic character. Okay. So we are essentially done at this point. Okay. If we want to look, we can go in. Let's go to the journal tab. Here's your race info, creature type, humanoid, age, minotaur, size, medium. Okay. Physical description. These are all the things you can fill in. So your physical description, personality traits, ideals, bonds, flaws. Okay. Then we've got our features. Oh, journal. The other thing with the journal is you can click on the red button and you can just add a note. Okay. So if you need to add a note about something, history, something like that, you can just add a note here. Okay. All right, features. Here are your features. Here's my horns feature, goring rush feature, hammering horns, labyrinthine recall, military rank from background, fighting style, great weapon, second wind. About this, if you don't like how it looks, if you don't like that the background is black, you can click on this, you can edit it, and then you can change the color. So let's say I want my background to be, let's say I think I was in the army, so I want to pick a green, and I want to pick like a dark green for that. There we go. Done. Done. Back. Now it's dark green. So you can change the colors to whatever you want. If you've used V1, changing colors doesn't change priority. If you want to change the priority something is in, you can go to the tree view. You can go to, you can view it in the tree, and you can assign their priority in the tree. Okay? But the color has nothing to do with it. You can pick the colors however you want. I always like making sure everything has the same color. So all of these are from Minotaur, so I would want all of these to be the same color. This is from Fighter, so I want to make sure all my Fighter stuff is the same color. So even though here it has gray and brown, I would, for me, because I like cording them like this, let's say Fighter, I'm going to make Fighter orange. I'm going to make it, sure, this one. No, let's go. Right, clear. Bright, bright yellow. There we go. Just so we can have it. Right. Edit. Color. Done. Right. So this way, if you're looking at your sheet, you can look at it easily, and just looking at the color, you can tell where you're getting your source from. Okay. You can also tell where you're getting your source from. Let's say, where was I getting second wind from? Maybe you have more than one thing. I don't know where second wind comes from. Higher at the top, it tells you where it comes from. Cameron's Library of Everything, character base, Fighter, Fighter 1. Okay. You also get your summary cards on your turn. You can use a bonus action to regain hit points equal to 1d10 plus 1. You have a limited well of stamina. So all of the information is here on the cards themselves. Okay. You have the summaries here, all the main information if you click on the card. Okay. Inventory. This is your inventory. A note about inventory. Everything starts out as being carried. Nothing is equipped. We can tell this by looking at our stats, right? Currently, my AC is 11. Okay. If we come back to our inventory and let's find my chainmail, we can do this one of two ways. You can do it the long way. So you click on it, edit it, and click on equipped, close. Now you can see it's equipped. We go over to stats. AC is now 16. Okay. The other way you can do it, right now in actions, I just have these actions. But if I come here, I want my halberd. Click on it and drag it. Make sure you can see it in the section. So I can see halberd in that box. Drop it. Now I go over to actions, and now I have my halberd. Okay. So equip the things that you want to be equipped. I'm going to have my clothes, my hand crossbow, my hand axes. Oh, I didn't check the crossbow was in there. There we go. Okay. Nothing else. Okay. Here's your belt pouch, 10 gold pieces. Okay. Here, if you want to create a new backpack, new item, or new container, you can create a new container. So if you want your backpack to be its own container, right? Backpack to weight 5 pounds can hold 1 cubic foot or 30 pounds of gear. Okay. So if I want to do this, right, I could say container backpack. It's not carried, right? Create. Now I have my backpack. Edit. It is 5 pounds, but we're not going to call it the 5 pounds. Save. Contents are not weightless. If you had a bag of holding, say you had a bag of holding, right? Bag of holding contents are essentially weightless. So then you can click on contents are weightless and you have your bag of holding. Okay. Right. So then if you wanted to move everything into your backpack and say, this is what I'm carrying in my backpack, right? You can easily do that. And you can see how much all of that is weighing. Right. My tin torches, the tinder box, the mess kit, the water skin, right? The dice, right? Now, remember, how much does a backpack let you carry? About 30 pounds. We can see we're at 44 pounds right now. So in a standard backpack, we might not be able to carry all of this. Okay, just things for us to think about. Okay. All right. Spells, we're a fighter, we don't have any spells. Let's say I'm going to do something just to show spells for people who do have spells. And crossbow, but we don't have any bolts. Right? We need bolts in order to fire. Okay. And then our stats. Here's our stats. Our hit points are here. Here's our professions, our weapon proficiencies, our armor proficiencies, our tool proficiencies, our languages. Let's say I don't remember where I got this tool proficiency from. You click on it and it'll tell you up here, Tamron's Library of Everything, soldier proficiencies. That's where I get it from. Okay. It gives you all the everything you need here. Okay. My saving throws, here's my saving throws. Here's my skill proficiencies. Okay. My initiative is here, proficiency bonus, armor class, speed. And then here's our ability scores with our modifiers big on top the way they should be. Okay. Take a short rest, take a long rest. Like I said, you can roll in the app now. So if I was going to attack with my halberd, +5 to attack, I can click if I have advantage or disadvantage, roll. And if you have your webhooks, it'll show in your log what your attack was. Okay. Because I want to show spells, let's quickly go to our build. Okay. And we're going to level up to level 3 or level 4 when we get our first feat, right? So we're going to insert that, right? Each one you insert, again, you get your choices up here. So at 2, 3, everything will automatically happen once you click your level up. Okay. So let's go back here, martial archetype. Okay. My archetype at level 3. Just because I've been using this recently, let's make him a battle master. Insert. Okay. Maneuvers. You learn 3 maneuvers. Okay. We're going to use trip attack, riposte, and parry. Okay. Strength or dexterity for maneuvers. We are using strength. Insert. Right. So just like D&D Beyond, it basically, the builder lets you build it. It shows you what comes next, what comes next, what comes next. Okay. Our student of war. What proficiency do we want? Let's be a cook. Okay. Optional, so level 4, optional features. Okay,